Hello everyone, my name is Eve and welcome to 2024. Today I just want to talk about all the books that I read in December, and then I'm also going to be doing my January TBR. I didn't read a lot, and by a lot I mean a lot for me. I still read a lot, let's be honest. We're just gonna go into Goodreads and see what I read this year. I honestly only own 3 of the books that I read because I sold all of them already. Goodreads has been like really acting up for me recently and I don't know what's going on. Okay, so the first book that I read this month was Exit Strategy, and this is by Martha Wells. I believe this is book number 4 in the Murderbot series. And once again, I thought this was just a-okay. And I'm really not loving this series and I don't know why. I feel like maybe if I started this series in the summer, I would have enjoyed it more because it's definitely more of a, it's not cozy, but it is kind of cozy. And I just think I'm learning that I'm not really into stuff that's kind of cozy. I want like super intense, like very intricate stories, you know? So yeah, I'm just not really into it. And the next book that I read was Crown of Midnight. This is by Sarah J. Maas. This is book technically number 2. But for me, number 3 in the Throne of Glass series. And I thought this book was so great. I rated it 4.5 stars. I can't say anything about it, but like, oh my gosh, it was so good. It was super good. It has like so many plot twists and you're just like, wait, what? And then the next book I read is Pride and Prejudice. I actually listened to this one. I rated this 4 stars. I didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I did because I was like, it's a classic and it's like romance, but I don't know. It was really good. It ended up just being a story that I really liked, and I haven't like seen any of the TV or movie adaptations, but I'm really wanting to watch the one with Keira Knightley. So I'm probably gonna do that soon. But yeah, I really enjoyed that one. And then I listened to A Christmas Carol, my first Christmassy book of the month. And I mean, we all know this story, so I gave it like 3.5 stars. Next, I read my first 5-star of the month. I only got 2 5 stars, but I actually own that still. And that is Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins. This is just the second book in the Hunger Games series. And obviously, I absolutely loved it. This is just such an incredible story. This just follows Katniss and Peeta in the Hunger Games once again, and I really liked it. Next, I read The Christmas Guest, which is a Christmas thriller, and it was so incredibly good. I rated this 4.5 stars. What can I say about it? Basically, it takes place at this really wealthy family's house. This girl was invited to spend Christmas with them, and it's from her perspective for like half of the story, I believe, and then it's from someone else's perspective for the rest of the story, if I'm remembering right. But yeah, it's just super intense. It's not cozy at all. I thought it was gonna be cozy, but it's just pure like thriller, like super eerie, super dark. I loved it. And then next I listened to Trapdoor. This is about a group of people who are trapped in this basement. Basically, you learn that probably one of them is like the one that is holding them captive there, and they have to spill all their deepest, darkest secrets, and it was okay. I gave it like 3 stars, I think. The ending was just super disappointing, and yeah. Next I read another thriller, and that is Breathless. This is by Amy McCulloch. Basically, there's this guy, his name is Charles McVeigh, and he is this world-renowned mountain climber, and he's doing this challenge where he has to summit like the 8 tallest peaks in the world. Oh jeez, I saw a bird and it really scared me. He has to do it without using like the crew's like ropes and stuff. I'm like trying to remember. Anyways, so he invited this journalist on this expedition. It's the last mountain he has to climb to complete this challenge. And he says, basically, I am going to give you an interview, but only if you peak this mountain. So she has to like reach the very top of the mountain and come down, and then he'll give the interview. And then, so the story starts out where she's like basically at the base camp, and then someone dies like pretty quick, and then one by one they're all kind of getting picked off, and it's super interesting and intense, and yeah, I really liked it. I gave it 4 stars. I would totally recommend it for like the winter time. Next, I read A Deal with the Elf King. This is by Elise Kova. This one I liked. It was 4 stars for me. I think I was in a really weird space this month where it was taking me a really long time to read anything. And I think if I was reading this at like literally any other time in my life, I probably would have given it higher. But this is basically about a girl named Luella, and she is just a normal human. She lives in this world where there is the human world and then there is the elf world. And every like 100 years the elves have to choose a new human queen, or else basically like the world will like go into chaos. I don't even know. But so Luella is chosen as the queen. It says that on the back of the book, so no spoilers, but yeah, it was really good. It's just like romantasy. It's in a series of standalones, so I'm probably gonna go on to the next one. But yeah, I liked that. And then the next one I read, I really didn't enjoy, and I still have it, and that is New Year's Kiss. This is by Lee Matthews. This is basically about this girl. Her parents are getting a divorce, so her and her sister are shipped off to live with their grandma for a week at her ski resort that she owns. And then the main character meets this boy who has a broken leg, and they just hang out, and she decides to make a bucket list for the end of the year, and she has like 4 days to complete all 10 items. And yeah, it's just it's definitely YA. It is just really childish, and the last 50 pages, I only read the dialogue because I was so incredibly bored. I just couldn't. And like the conflict is just so stupid. I just really didn't enjoy it, so I would not recommend this one. And then the last book that I read this year, 5 stars, once again, very happy that I ended the year with this book, and that is The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. And I genuinely don't get why people didn't like this book. I've seen so many reviews being like, this is so stupid, like, I guessed the ending a mile away. And while I kind of guessed one of the twists, like I didn't guess what was gonna happen the whole book, you know? This is about a girl who just got out of prison, and she needs a job, and so she gets a job being a housemaid, a live-in housemaid for this family, and the wife starts acting like super weird. She'll go from like really hostile to super sweet, and it's just like a really weird, strange situation. And the housemaid has to sleep in the attic, which is like transformed into this tiny little bedroom. And the people she works for are like really incredibly rich, and their bedrooms are like huge. And she, like, the size of her room is like a closet. And she just has like one tiny little bed, a small window that's the size of her hand that doesn't even open, and there's a lock on the door that only locks from the outside of the bedroom. And it's just, oh my gosh. I literally read this in 2 days. It was so incredibly good. I literally couldn't put it down. And I haven't felt that way about a book in such a long time. So it was just super good, and I'm so glad I ended the year off with this banger. And yeah, so those are all the books that I read this year, or no, this month. Let's transition over to the books that I'm going to read in January. I'm very sorry, because you can probably hear my washer and dryer in the background, but this is the time I have to film, so we're just gonna have to deal with it. Let me move my plant. Basically, I didn't get to a lot of the books that I wanted to read in December, so they're just rolling over to this month. And so we're just gonna go through this pretty quick. So I first have Heir of Fire and Queen of Shadows, which is the 4th and 5th book in the Throne of Glass series that I'm reading. Then we have the entire Shadow and Bone trilogy, which is Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, and Ruin and Rising. I did add a couple new ones on here, and so we're just gonna wait until the end for those. I have Icebreaker by Hannah Grace, which is just a romance between a hockey player and an ice skater. And then we have Caraval, which I've talked about a bajillion times. I don't need to explain that. I have Unravel Me, which is another one I've talked about a lot. And I have All In, which is the 3rd book in the Natural series. I'm trying to remember if I've said the next one. Yeah, I have. Then we have The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. And now we can get to the next ones, or the new ones on the list. So first I have The Sanatorium. This is by Sarah Pierce. Let me just read the back. It says, the newly renovated Hotel Les Sommets, a former sanatorium high in the Swiss Alps, has long been plagued by dark rumors. When Detective Ellen Warner's estranged brother Isaac and his fiancée Laure invite her to celebrate their engagement at the hotel, Ellen reluctantly accepts. Arriving in the midst of a threatening storm, Ellen immediately feels on edge. And when Laure suddenly vanishes, Ellen must trust her instincts if they hope to find her. When the snow cuts off all access to Les Sommets, the remaining guests start to panic. Then another woman disappears, and she's the only person who could have warned them of just how much danger they are all in. So yeah, just like a thriller. It reminds me of The Shining a little bit. And I've had this book for a long time, and I just feel like it's a good time to read that now. The next one I have is completely out of my comfort zone, and I don't know what I'm doing, but it is Butcher and Blackbird. This is by Bren Weaver. And when I read the back, you'll see why it is out of my comfort zone. So it says, when a chance encounter sparks an unlikely bond between rival murderers, Sloane and Rowan, they find something elusive, the friendship of two like-minded pitch-black souls who just happen to enjoy killing other serial killers. And yeah, it says, from small town West Virginia to upscale California, and from downtown Boston to rural Texas, the two hunters collide in an annual game of blood and suffering, one that pits them against the most dangerous monsters in the country. But as their friendship develops into something more, the restless ghosts left in their wake are only a few steps behind, ready to claim more than just their newfound love. So yeah, this has been very popular recently, and for some reason, I was like, I'm just gonna try it. And if I don't like it, I can put it down. But I don't know, it seems like it's gonna be funny. I'm hoping it's not like too gruesome for me. And yeah, I don't know. We'll see how this goes. I guess this is the first book in a trilogy, so yeah. And then lastly, we have to pick one of my wrapped books. Because I did a video where I wrapped 12 books. And each month I'm gonna have a random number generator choose which book I can open and read for the month. So we're just gonna do that. Okay, I have the thing pulled up. I'm gonna try to screen record it. I don't remember how to do that. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna do it here, if it'll focus. I got 4, so we will now pick out the book with the number 4 on it. I kind of like mix these all together. Here we go. I'm kind of nervous. I genuinely don't remember what books I wrapped up. I don't want to look. How do I open this? I can't open it. I wrapped it too well. Okay, I'm gonna let you look first. I don't know if this is the right way. Okay, it is. So this is 7 X's. This is by Lucy Vine. This is basically about a woman who like sees this article or something, and it says like everyone has these 7 X's in their lives, and most likely one of them is your soulmate. And she's like, oh my gosh, I have those 7 X's in my life. I have to go through them and see which one is my soulmate. So we are adding this to the TBR. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I'm so excited for all the fun books I'm gonna be reading in the next year. Let me know if you read any of the books that I read in December and what your thoughts are on them. And yeah, I will just see you in the next video. Bye.